Hi guys, and welcome back to another video for you. Today, the 19th of March, I uploaded my very first ever YouTube video to this channel. So I just want to thank you all for the amazing support from day one. I just honestly want to thank everyone who supported me, showed me love and support since that day of me starting the channel. It was quite a daunting day when I did the first Q&A. In my bedroom, but yeah, and I've kind of come up with another Q&A. I didn't ask anyone for questions because I never seem to get a response like some of the other resellers, but I just found some questions online that I thought I'll answer. How do you deal with trolls on YouTube? Block. Depending on what the comment is, I normally just, if it's something really offensive or anything, I just block. If it's a bit of something that needs a bit of common sense and you need to explain something, I try and use common sense to teach them, but mostly, depending on what it is, block. Do you think YouTube resellers are ruining reselling? No. So, just because we're putting everything out there, we are not ruining it for anyone. If you can't keep up with competition, it's just the way life is. I don't think we are, no. Do you think it's inappropriate to record or film in a charity shop? That is a difficult one because a lot of people do it, but it depends on the person. Personally, I don't think it is, but then, do I do it? Only occasionally, because I don't have the confidence like some. So, it's a hard one. I don't think it's inappropriate, because you're always being recorded anyway. There's a CCTV everywhere, dash cam, speed cameras, those video ANRP cameras all the time. You're on a camera somewhere, so many times in the day. Just because they don't get uploaded to social media doesn't mean you're not on camera. Do you think you should ask permission to film in charity shop's car boot sale? Again, the law says at a car boot sale it's a public area. It's a hard one. I'm going to put the law here, but again, it all varies on the situation. Car boot sales, I don't think you should have to unless it's 100% private land. That's different. Do YouTube keep you accountable? A little bit, but YouTube can also be a huge procrastinator for me. I get easily distracted when my friends upload their videos that I could sit and watch them for hours instead of doing actual work. So it can do, and it can also be a hindrance. How have you found the margins this year? Ooh, I found it interesting. We've had some really good stock in, so margins have been good. But are we going to be able to get this good stock in all the time? No. So I'm just taking margins as it comes, because margin changes every day, every month, every year. So at the moment they're good. What and how would you adapt your business? So this year I do want a shed. Another way I want to adapt my business in the future is basically having employees in different towns and cities to go and source stock for me. Why do you have such a huge backlog? Doesn't it overwhelm you? Sometimes it overwhelms me. But the reason we have it, there's 3 reasons. So when I started this, back in 2009, 2010, I was only doing it part-time because I was still at college. I was only doing it part-time. I've said this story many times. Blah, 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 blah. Back then, I wasn't doing it as headstrong. I wasn't too invested in it. I was doing it at the weekends and when I could fit it in. And Mum was picking the orders and packing and taking them while I was at college. Anyway, and then we would go to the boot sales at the weekend. I can't remember when I started going. I think it was like 2019 I went full-time-ish. Don't quote me on that. I cannot remember. Carried on after college. I finished college 2017, I think. 2018, 2019, I was still kind of part-time-ish. And I didn't know about the YouTube community until 2020. So 2020 was a bit sucky because I lost my nan in February just before lockdown. We managed to have a funeral just before lockdown. Then we went into lockdown. And obviously, luckily, from what we had sourced previous, we always kept 50% of what we sourced back. that was, luckily we had that option. So we were still selling, and we were leaving it out for the, when you could have the carriers come and collect. They would come and collect and take them for us, but we didn't have to interact. So that was happening for me when you could do that. I had about 4 months off in lockdown, because obviously lockdown for a few months you couldn't do anything. So when you could, we started doing that. Then after lockdown, I know it was at Fashion Boot Sale, I bumped into Ricky for the first time. I saw Ricky's video and I realised he was local, because at first I was watching everyone, and then I saw Ricky's video and I saw one of my localish boot sale Fashion, and I was like, oh, that's Fashion. And I saw a couple of his videos that I saw my dad in, who had passed in 2020 on November the 16th. So I suddenly kept seeing my dad in these videos that kept coming up, and I'm thinking, this is local, this is Fashion, even though I thought he was from up north, which he is originally. Anyway, so I went to Fashion one day and I walked past Ricky because I was too shy to actually say hello. And then going back, I came out to Mum, got my stamp, came out to Mum and said, oh, I just saw Ricky. And she was like, you said hello, didn't you? I was like, no, because I'm too shy. She said, go back in and say hello and tell him, say hi and tell him about you. And anyway, I did. And we got talking. I think it was 2021 I made this channel. Yeah. Then I knew I was going to make this channel, and I was telling him about it. And we were talking and he was giving me encouragement. But I was like, I've got to wait for a GoPro. And I kept telling Mum I wanted a GoPro. But I didn't think I'd get it in 2020 because I thought I would have to save for it. Anyway, Christmas came around 2020, which was a tough year. 2020, and then I got a GoPro for Christmas. Amazing, cool, fantastic. So I set it all up ready for the first boot sale, which I can't remember. I have a picture somewhere, I'll include it here. If I didn't have those backlogs through 2020 and the bit of time that I was like part-time, that I couldn't get to boot sales and stuff because of like college and like social life. I was never a drinker, I was never a partier, but you had always had stuff on back then. Family stuff. If it's not family stuff, it was other stuff. So backlog saved me. 2021 I made this channel, started uploading, started going to car boot sales and filming them. Obviously it built from there. And it's basically just because of like emergency events, because you just don't know what's going to happen, and the backlog did save me. Even recently, 2 weeks, so back in February, end of January, first week of February, I had a serious back problem. We don't know what it was. We thought it was a UTI, then we thought it was a kidney stone. We never knew what it was. Now we just think it's muscular, and it's kind of gone after 2.5 weeks. But I was literally laid up on the sofa, and I had no listings for that 2.5 weeks, which is why I am pushing it so hard now, with scheduling videos, scheduling every day, plus having an emergency as well, because I just don't want to be in that situation again. And that is why we have such a big backlog. That in there is all listed. Yeah, that's why we have such a big backlog. Do we get overwhelmed? Occasionally. How will you tackle the backlog? So I do a bit every day, either a box a day or 10 items a day. Just slowly do it. How do you know what to put in your backlog? So say we got something Halloween, Christmassy, like a certain specific month, that goes up, because that's unlikely to sell before then. As long as you put it up. So say Halloween, say you get something like, for example, I get a Build-A-Bear pumpkin cat. I love one, by the way. Manifesting that. I would put that up for August. I would put that on for August, because that gives it August, September to sell, ready for Halloween. And then the Christmas stuff would go on in October, ready for December. So on like that. So you're just a few months ahead each time. And that's how. And yeah, some of the good stuff does go up. If you've got two of the same things, sometimes you can do multiple listings or multiple quantities, but sometimes it's better to like, sometimes that puts off customers, in my opinion, because if they see you've got more than one, they're like, okay. But then also it can gain more because you're selling it more rapidly. It's a very hit and miss, but that is how I deal with the backlog. How long have you gone without adding to the backlog? 6 weeks. Last year for 6 weeks, after Mum had a knee replacement, we only managed to source one thing for the backlog for eBay. Yeah, 6 weeks, and I will be doing that again at some point, then another 6 weeks, but I will be adding probably to start buying some toys on Vinted to resell, but yeah. How are you finding the Kallax? Is it helping you find your sold items? Yes. The smaller items are easier to find now. Still got a few to sort out in there to go in there, but most are finding it easier. Still wish I wanted a slightly bigger one, but Mum wouldn't let me. But yeah. How is processing the stock as soon as it comes in going? Are you finding it easier to handle? Yes, so what I'm doing now is I'm coming back from the boot sale, putting my footage onto my computer, having a 10 to half an hour break, then I'm going out to film the haul, and then if I feel like doing it afterwards, I start processing it straight away. Is it easier to cope with? Definitely, because you're not letting it sit in the car for 3-4 days. Would you start selling as a lot of resellers are leaving? Would you start live selling as a lot of resellers are leaving eBay? No, I haven't got the face or the voice for live selling, so I don't think I would ever do live selling. Do you ever get annoyed at people's opinion of resellers? It's not that I get annoyed at people's opinion of resellers. I get annoyed that people don't use their common sense to a degree. Because everyone can have their opinion, right or wrong. No's opinion's right, no opinion's wrong. Everyone's opinion's indifferent. But it's the ones that accuse you of stealing, the ones that say stuff like, this is bad, this is this, this is that. It's like, that's your opinion, it's not. Like life, there's worse things in life than reselling. People just need to think before they say something, think before they type. How are your sales throughout the week compared to the weekend? It varies on my items. I had some really good items go on this week, and basically they sold that day straight away. I know I probably put them on lower than the common price, but I wanted them in, on and gone, and that is the way to do it. What's the best advice to someone just beginning eBay? My best advice, which I don't like giving advice, is do something you're into. Don't think you can sell Hi-Fi straight away unless that's something you're into, or Hoovers. Do something you enjoy and love. That isn't going to take up too much storage to start with, and then go from there and build your knowledge every time you go out. Just not go with your gut, but go with your gut with the knowledge you have. How do you store your items? In plastic boxes. How do you manage shipping? I use Parcels to Go, and I have got a referral code just here. So if you want to use it, I think we get like some discount each. But I also use Top Cashback to get cashback on booking my parcels. So codes and links are down below. This ain't sponsored or an ad, I just thought I'd put this in. I never ask for anything, and I don't normally, but I thought I'll add these two in. We might be able to save each other. You may be able to save each other some money. What should be the best category to sell on eBay? In my eyes, there's two good categories. Clothes is good because everyone needs clothes and shoes and stuff. But also kids' toys, in my eyes, and this is why I do kids' toys, is everyone who has kids buys kids' toys. But not everyone can afford to buy new. I always use the get the most for your value on, it's like my catchphrase I always put a little bit, if I do bundles, I always put a little bit more in the bundle so you're getting the best for your value. I know what I'm trying to say. Best value for money, that's it. So they're getting what they would have paid for one thing, they're getting it for the whole bundle, even though you can't actually get these items in the store anymore. Some of mine are very unique and rare items, some of them are quite common items, but again, it's all unique to that store. And yeah, that's basically, why is toys your niche? So when I started back in 2009 to 2010, I was selling my own dolls because I was getting bullied for playing with dolls. That's another story. So I started selling dolls, and it was my sister's account back then, but it's all been passed over now officially. And basically, I just carried on, and then I built my knowledge every year, every month, with the help of having nieces and nephews. I learnt from them, watching them play, what they were watching, and I just built the knowledge there. So toys, I fell into toys. I didn't even know I wanted to be a reseller, because I wanted to do animals stuff. What are the positives of reselling? So the positive is you don't have a boss. You can spend time with your friends and family. You can make more free time to be more social. What is a negative of reselling? The negative, which I don't think it's a negative, it's a... I can't even word what it is, but it's not negative. Basically, because your work is on your phone, your laptop, you're never clocked out. So 9 to 5, you can literally go to work, get there for 8 to 9, and clock out at 5, and you don't think about work again till the next day. For reselling, for our resellers, we are constantly thinking, constant wondering if we're going to get a sale, constant making sure we're answering messages on time, making sure we're dealing with messages are question, dealing with returns. It's constant. You don't switch off. So it can be quite draining on your mental health if you're not in the right place. What's one thing that annoys you with some car boot sales? I go to a lot that we all go in at once, but there's quite a couple I go to that the sellers go in and the buyer's queue for early bird. But then you see the sellers going around buying. And it's not exactly 100% fair, because how is that fair when you always stand waiting to go in? Because they won't let you in unless you've got a table and some stuff in the back of your car. But people are still going around buying before you're let in or reserve an item. It is frustrating. There's a couple do it. I'm not going to name names, but yeah. Another thing annoys me, but then on the opposite hand, if I was selling, I would rather wait and load while I had no hassle. So you've got both sides. There's one boot sale, Shepperton, which I love. They do not allow the sellers to go round, which is amazing. I have got my best stuff. Some of my best stuff at Shepperton. Absolutely incredible boot sale. But Brookfield and Apps Court, again, going at the same time. Brilliant. So it's very varied, but I do think if sellers are buying, there needs to be more cut down on that. I know it gets... I hate it. I like boot sales where you can all go in at once and it's fair game. What drives you so hard and what drives you so down and what motivates you? So as you know, so the question was, what drives and motivates you so hard? So as a woman, no kids, no family, like none of my own family, I haven't met the one, I'm motivated so that when I do become a mum or adopt or however I become a parent, in the long run, I have the funds available to not miss a single part of their childhood. Motivates me in the saving part. Also, want to enjoy the freedom of life I've got right now, basic by being able to go on holiday whenever I want and not have commitments as a pet or anything like that, so that I can just be like, oh, we could go on holiday this weekend, if you know what I mean. Just the freedom to live. So that's what motivates me at the moment. For items that sat in your inventory for a while, is it better to create a sale and markdown or take the item and sell similar at a cheaper price? To be honest, I don't think it matters. It's whatever you're comfortable to do. Worst case, if you made, say whenever you bought it and the average price, you made all the prices back and you've got all your profit and you're in profit. Worst case, do a 99p auction. You will clear a lot of stuff and you can't be afraid of 99p auctions as a reseller. So, is it possible to sell an item without promoted listing? Yes. None of my items are promoted at all. I do not promote. What is your method of paying yourself, paying bills, whereas keeping money in the business to invest into new stock? So, It really depends on monthly basis. I don't take money from PayPal unless I need something, and I pay myself end of the month, maybe end of 2 months. Occasionally, I need to get better at that, paying myself a wage, and then going from there. But quite a lot of it gets reinvested back into stock. What is your strategy when listing? I haven't got a strategy. If it's good enough to list, it lists. What advice would you give to your younger self? Wherever life takes you, that's what's meant. Wherever the life path takes you, that is where your life's meant to go. What other inventory system do you have? A shit one at the moment. So my very small stuff are in the Kallax. My bigger stuff are in some Amazon bags and plastic tubs. How do you see AI impacting your business moving forward? I have no clue, but I know I made some AI music the other day for this channel, which was quite funny. Would you recommend category specific store or mix one? Again, it depends what you know. If you know about everything, mix your store. If you know about a specific niche category, I can't advise. How much should you keep back for the backlog? So what I try and do, so for example, I've got £126.70 for the weekend. If I spent it all, £10 to £15 worth of what I spent will go in the backlog. So sorting the items out, be like, this is worth listing now, this will be worth listing then, but 10 to 25% will go in the backlog. The rest I'll try and get listed sooner rather than later. Again, it all depends on item variety, the collectability and stuff. Have you ever had a best offer not go through? Yes. How long do you think your backlog would last if you didn't source for a while? If we really cracked on with it and actually, so say we couldn't source for a year, fingers crossed that never happens and touch wood, I think we could actually go over that year personally. But if we would need to crack on with sorting it, so we could last over a year. I'm at least covered for a year if anything disastrous happened. Who do you use to ship with? I use Parcels to Go, but 95% of the time is an every jobby. Have you lost many parcels? No, I think we've lost 2 this year so far. And is it easy to claim through Parcels to Go? Yeah, pretty simple if you follow all the advice. Got a couple more questions. Right, so do kids' films make a huge difference to the price of kids' toys? Yes. So if the film is quite popular and does really well, kids' toys price goes up. Secondly, on the other hand, if the kids' film shit, the price will drop the kids' product. But then it also depends if the toy is collectible. As well as popular film, it will go up. So it really depends, but it does make a huge difference either way. And there's quite a few new films coming out for kids this year. We've got Sylvanian Family coming out on the 4th of April. We've got Minecraft movie coming out. We've got the Gabby's Dollhouse. And lots more. Do you have any other business ideas you would love to start that are not recent? Yeah, I had this pet Christmas kind of idea, but I couldn't really do it because I can't paint. And the idea I had, which I'm not going to go into details in case I ever find anyone who could actually do it but me be like a CEO, was it was all personalised and you would paint these items for Christmas, but it would only be seasonal because I couldn't add another thing to my life because reselling is crazy as it is. Would you ever give up some of your time to volunteer in a charity shop? If I had time, yes, because I would love to be out in the background, but I could never be out in the front because too many customer interactions and stuff. Maybe in the future one day, but when I'm comfortable with my reselling, when I can say I can take a day off reselling. Would you ever, or have you ever sourced on Vinted to resell? And would you do it again for future example when your mum has her next knee replacement surgery? We only ever sourced one thing, and it was it's not a fail because it's still listed, but we paid up for it. I wish we hadn't paid up for it. So yeah, I will do it again, but it might be when mum next has surgery and I'll get it door to door and then we'll go from there. But yeah, best time to list your items. I do from 5 o'clock later because people are back from work and then they're sorting their kids out. So yeah. Are you just on YouTube or do you have other platforms that you sell on? I'm just on eBay, but I might start using Vinted a bit more. First item you sold that got you into reselling. Baby Annabelle, Baby Born. How much listed stock do you have number wise? Listed stock, I can tell you how many active I've got right now. 649 plus 14 scheduled for today. How much unlisted stock number wise? A lot. I have no idea on the number. What is your preferred postage method? But we usually go through Parcels to Go. What is your worst thing you've bought and never sold or didn't make money? I don't think it's never made money. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Best sale this year so far? Ooh, that's a good question. I've had some really good ones recently. So, highest to lowest. Sort, highest price. My best sale this year was this Paw Patrol cat pack that came in a £60 bundle. We sold them for 90, plus we got the other stuff still listed. But then we've also had the Louvre Bella dolls, and then the Bratz that we recently sold. And some other Bratz. Oh, the Butlin Skyline Gang as well, that was really good. And then Captain Turbo that sold the other day. There's been some really, really good sales. I haven't, my most value one is the Butlins or the cat pack. Favourite sales so far this year. My favourite sale were the Bratz that we recently bought for £2 and sold now nearly 3 things from it. Best pickup of the year so far has to be either Captain Turbo or the cat pack or Butlins or the Bratz bus. That's in my most recent video. It depends. If it's a pickup from Facebook, it's the Butlins or the cat pack. If it's a pickup from a boot sale, it's the bus. Anyway, that is the end of the Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up. I am now so close to 1,000. So if you're not liking or hitting that subscribe button, it's just down here. Please check out my other video here and this other reseller here. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!